I'm Dr. P, your communication coach.
And I'm Kellie, core energetics practitioner and Heidi's collaborator in exploring how to have those difficult conversations, which definitely include political ones.
Yes, they do. You know, Kellie, we are not seeing a whole lot of healthy conversations about politics these days, are we?
Oh my goodness, no, we aren't. But Heidi and I have been having a lot of healthy conversations over the past few years through our Heart Perception Project. We've disagreed plenty. We've learned a lot about each other's beliefs. And due to our intentional communication practices with each other, we've managed not only to keep our relationship intact, but we've actually deepened it.
That's right. So we are teaming up in this brief video to give you 4 tips on how to have a healthy conversation about politics.
And by the word healthy, we mean mature, honoring, and respectful.
So let's get started.
So your first tip is to start the conversation with a mindset of curiosity. And by curiosity, that means seeking to understand more about this person that you're engaging with, rather than coming in with assumptions and judgments about who you think they are and what you think their motivations and beliefs are. Asking curious questions is how we start with that mindset of curiosity. You ask questions like, what is it that helped you to come to this belief? Rather than ask why, ask what, how, or help me understand.
So like this question, Kellie, what is one thing that you really love about the Democratic Party?
What I love about the Democratic Party is how they take care of people who fall through the cracks in our capitalistic system. Now, my personal relationship to that was when my daughter was born with a rare genetic disorder that would have killed her. The only thing that would save her was a bone marrow transplant. Now, my husband and I pay for health insurance, but we found out that our health insurance only covers $250,000 of a bone marrow transplant. Our bill was $1.2 million. If it weren't for Medicaid, which is supported by the Democratic platform, we would be devastated financially, even though we did all the right things.
Thank you for that story, Kellie. You know, our stories are really, really important. And that is your second step, is to share your stories. Stories actually help us elicit a really cool neurotransmitter or chemical between us called oxytocin that makes us feel connected even to somebody that we have very, very different perspectives. So tell your stories.
You asked me what I love about the Democratic Party, so I'd love to hear what it is that draws you to the Republican Party.
One of the things that I feel most passionate about, and I have to go all the way back to when I was a little girl in grade school, one of my best friends was a girl who had a really disfigured face, a birthmark. It was called a port wine stain that covered half of her face. And she had some mental and physical disabilities as well. And I've always just had such a heart for the underdog. And for me, I see the unborn as being a marginalized people group that doesn't have a voice. And I love how the Republican Party champions the lives of the unborn. I do need to say that right now I'm really excited about our new justice, Amy Coney Barrett, that has been nominated to the Supreme Court.
Wow, Heidi. So that's perfect that you told me that, because it leads us right into our third tip, which is to track yourself. When Heidi was speaking about how happy she is that Judge Barrett has been nominated, I got tight. There was a part of me that just wanted to go, wah! And start spewing all the reasons why she's wrong. Now, what is the use of tracking yourself? When you are tracking yourself, you are in what's called observer mind, and that is activating your prefrontal cortex. And when you are activating your prefrontal cortex, you are able to make choices and not merely act from reaction. And that's what we really need in difficult conversations, is the ability to be at choice and responsiveness at all times, as opposed to reactiveness.
That takes us to actually our fourth point, which is to reflect back what you've heard the other person say or express to you. And I hear you saying in this that you felt a lot of tension, that you wanted to like reach through the screen and find a way to make me wrong. And I hear you. So I want to know, how does it feel for you to feel heard by me, to know that I heard you?
It feels good. I feel connected to you. Thank you.
So let's recap. First, ask curious questions. Second, tell your stories. Third, track yourself. And fourth, reflect back what you've heard. You know what, Kellie? None of these things are easy. In fact, it's a whole lot easier for us to just yell at each other and insult each other. The much harder thing that takes a whole lot more energy is for us to be able to stay centered and mature and respectful and honoring of each other in the midst of this conversation.
Heidi and I have managed to keep our friendship alive despite our differences. And using these techniques, we've been able to navigate those places that are scary to go with people that you love but disagree with.
You know, this isn't about agreement. It's about learning to respect each other in the midst of disagreement and learning to honor each other, learning to listen well. My goal is, and I know your goal as well, is that we would be able to depolarize our families, our neighborhoods, our communities, and our nation by pressing into these hard topics and learning to have healthy conversations, even about politics.
That's right. To learn more about how to have healthy conversations about politics, be sure to take our online class with the same title at udemy.com. You can also watch our real-life conversations on our Heart Perception Project YouTube channel.
And for more communication tips, you can subscribe to Speak Eagle with Dr. P, also on YouTube. Thanks so much, Kellie.
Thank you, Heidi.